everyone, welcome to Ravenclaw Reads. I'm Courtney, and today I am taking you on my birthday book haul. So my birthday was September 3rd. I'm filming this after that with all the books I picked up for my birthday. My biggest birthday wish was just to go to Barnes and get books, or there's quite a few pre-orders that came out on the 5th of September that I wanted to get, and so that's exactly what I did for my birthday, and I want to share them with you. I have, I think, 20 books that I picked up over my birthday weekend, and so grateful I was able to do that, but also like so excited. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you have already been a subscriber, you might see some of these books on my September TBR. If you are new, like I said, welcome. And if you look at some of my other content and you think this is a channel you might want to follow, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers and would love to have you join. I post Thursdays and Sundays, and I do book content. So let's get started with the book haul. So I'm gonna be inserting clips of my time at Barnes. So there's a Barnes & Noble about 30 minutes away from my house that I've always seen but haven't gone. We're relatively new to Minnesota, and so I haven't been there. And when I went in, it was just glorious. It is huge. There are so many sections, so many books, and I think I went to Barnes near me maybe every day in August and there's books at this new Barnes that I had never even seen before. So we really enjoyed our time there. It was a great session of browsing. Nobody rushed me. Everybody was just excited for me to be in my element. And so I really, really appreciated that from my family, and it was just a great time. Then on my actual birthday, so I did that on Saturday, then my actual birthday was a Sunday. I wanted to just like relax and enjoy the books that I picked up, but I still ended up going to Barnes & Noble in my neighborhood and just got a couple of books. It is a smaller Barnes & Noble, and I know it like the back of my hand now because I'm there all the time. But then, like I said, I also picked up a couple books on Amazon that were either cheaper, I couldn't find in store, or were pre-order. So with all of that being said, let's get started. Okay, the first thing I picked up is sort of fun, not necessarily a reading book, but Reagan picked this out for me. It is the Babysitters Club official coloring book. If you are new to my channel, I love the Babysitters Club. I know it's kind of trendy right now, but I have loved them since I was a kid, and was a huge fan, and read the books, watched the original show, just loved it all the way up. And so it's great to be revisiting this part of my childhood, and so many people my age are really loving coming back to their roots on this. So I picked up this coloring book, and I like to color sometimes just for fun or while I'm relaxing. It might be good to do while I'm listening to an audiobook. I've only done one picture first, but it might be the most important, which is the little welcoming graphic. So I thought that was super cute and very relaxing. So I did pick that up. And then let's go through the books in no particular order because they're literally just stacked. And they have been stacked for, what is it? Today's I guess about a week. So I'm ready to put them on my shelf and move on with life. Okay, so one of the books that I picked up is The Toll by Neal Shusterman. This is the third book in the, what is this series? Arc of a Scythe, book 3. I also picked up book 2, Thunderhead by Neal Shusterman. So I picked up The Scythe maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago based on a recommendation on watching a video. And it was really hard to put down. And I was really excited to like get into a series, a fantasy series, because I do like fantasy, but it has to be readable. I don't like super high fantasy and where I don't even know what's happening. And this is very readable, maybe because it's YA, but I really like it. So I picked up book 2 and book 3. Book 2 came, I got it on Saturday when we went to the big Barnes & Noble, and I think I maybe finished it or was close to finishing it on Sunday or Monday, right after my birthday. But I had already placed an order for this because I knew I needed the third book. But these are really great books. They follow just sort of a dystopian world that is years beyond where we are currently. But they no longer have natural death. And so scythes are trained to do population control. And it's written really well. It also just, I've said this before in my other videos, just some social commentary on like good versus evil, and where people lie when they have an opportunity to choose a side. So very, very good. Highly recommend those. Okay, and then against all my better judgment, I picked up Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. I read Magnolia Park last year. Was it last year or earlier this year? And I didn't love it. But this is like a companion type series. It's my understanding that we follow different people in that world. And so this says, all 20-year-old Daisy Hates has ever wanted is a normal life, but that's not in the cards. Daisy Hates is princess of London's most notorious family, raised by her older brother Julian, a London gang lord, after their parents were murdered in front of them 12 years ago. Daisy has never lived beyond his watchful gaze. Julian's line of work means that Daisy's life is complicated, and things don't become any less complex when she falls hard for Christian hymns. So I'll kind of stop there, but everybody who has read Magnolia Park and said they didn't like it, liked Daisy Hates. So we'll see. I have this on my September TBR because I kind of want to just, not just get it over with, but I want to see will I like it or not. So there's that one. Then I have Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I actually just finished this book. So like I said, I've had these sitting for a while. This is on my September TBR. Such a great read. It's a 4-star book. I picked this up because I had seen it everywhere. It was sort of recommended to me on my Goodreads. But it is a really cute, spicy, can you say cute and spicy at the same time? But it is cute and spicy romance novel. I ended up giving this 4 stars. It'll be in my vlog for Sunday. The past Sunday, so if you didn't catch that, check it out. My thoughts on this book, but it's really well written, and it's basically a second chance romance. And look at that cover. It is beautiful. And this is one of those books now that if I see it on a Kindle deal, I'm going to get it because I just want it in multiple forms. Then I picked up Maybe Meant to Be. This was actually out early at the Barnes & Noble that I went to because it didn't come out until the 5th. And then I realized I had a digital copy of it, so it also came on my Kindle. But this book is by K.L. Walther. She also wrote Summer Broken Rules and What Happens After Midnight. And it says, if Charlie and Sage are meant to be, why can't Sage stop kissing Charlie's brother? And why can't Charlie stop thinking about kissing the new boy at school? So some twisted love, not twisted, but like mixed up love. And it looks cute. I think this is a YA too, although I found it in the romance section. I know her last book was set in high school as well. I don't love K.L. Walther, but I can't stop buying her books. I don't know if you have, people like that that you buy, but she just, I love the book covers. They all seem to sort of go together. You can see the back. They all kind of fit together nicely on the shelf, and so I'm collecting her books, even though I don't really love her all the time. This is also on my September TBR. And then I picked up Babysitters Club book number 12, Claudia and the New Girl. If you've been on my channel, you know, but if you're new, I am rereading the Babysitters Club from the very first book. And I have the classic editions, but every once in a while I just pick up the new edition if I see it because I like having multiple types of these. And so I picked up book 12. Also, my older editions are just that older. I got them from eBay. And I don't want to ruin them. And so sometimes I pick up the new one. So that's what I did. All right, next I had picked up, and this came out before my birthday, but I did pick it up as a birthday vlog book, The Brothers Hawthorne by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This cover is beautiful. My dust jacket's kind of bent because I was reading this and I take the dust jackets off generally when I'm reading a hardcover. But this is the 4th book in the Inheritance Games series, and we're following Jameson and Grayson in this book. I started it, but I realized I couldn't do it justice right now because it's not at all what I thought it was going to be. That's neither good nor bad. It's just that it's not what I thought it was going to be. So I have it on pause for now until I'm really ready to dig into it as a standalone. If you're picking this book up, I would say look at it as a standalone. It's not too much of an extension of Inheritance Games, except for the characters are the same. So just keep that in mind. Then after my birthday, this came out on the 5th, but I didn't get it till the 7th. Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. This is book number 3 in the Knock 'Em Out series. Super excited to read this one. This book is Lucien and Sloane. So really excited to read their story. It says, Lucien Rollins is a lean, mean, vengeance-seeking mogul. On a quest to erase his abusive father's mark on the family name, he spends every waking minute pulling strings and building his empire. The more money and power he gains, the safer he feels. Except when it comes to one feisty small-town librarian. Bonded by an old dark secret from the past and their current mutual disdain, Sloane Walton trusts Lucien about as far as she can throw his designer-suited body. When bickering accidentally turns to foreplay, the flames are fanned and it's impossible to put them out again. But with Sloane more than ready to start a family and Lucien refusing to even consider the idea of marriage and kids, these enemies to lovers are stuck at an impasse. So, excited to read that. I like these books. I like this series. I'm just looking at the back. It's Bloom Books. Okay, so I don't love super long romance novels, but Lucy Score is like the only one that I'll read that's over 400 pages. It's really good. I ended up getting this book for like $2 because I had rewards, a birthday coupon, and it was 30% off at Barnes. So really excited about that. And then it's an exclusive edition. And so I think there's special content, but also there's like a stamp signature, which is adorable. And I was not expecting that. So I got that book. Okay, next I got The Long Game by Lena Armas. This came out on the 5th as well. I pre-ordered it and literally it came on Thursday, which is very first world, but I pre-ordered it to get there on the 5th and it didn't. Lena Armas also wrote The American Roommate Experiment and Spanish Love Deception. I haven't gotten through Spanish Love Deception because it's so hard to read the first few pages, but it's on my shelf. And I read Roommate Experiment and I think it was just mid for me, but this cover is so cute, I couldn't not get it. The back says, Adelaine Reyes has spent years perfecting her daily routine. Wake up at dawn, drive to the Miami Flames FC offices, try her hardest, go home, and repeat. But her routine is disrupted when a video of her having an altercation with the team's mascot goes viral. Rather than fire her, the team's owner, who happens to be her father, sends Adeline to middle of nowhere, North Carolina, where she's tasked with turning around the struggling local soccer team. Her plans crumble upon discovering that the players wear tutus to practice, impractical, keep pet goats, messy, and are terrified of Adeline, counterproductive. They're also 9-year-old girls. To make things worse, also in town is Cameron Caldani, recently retired professional goalkeeper whose presence is something of a mystery. Cam is the perfect candidate to help Adeline, except that after one very unfortunate first encounter involving a rooster, Cam's leg, and Adeline's car bumper, he's set on running her out of town. But helping this ragtag children's team is Adeline's road to redemption, and she's playing the long game with or without Cam's help. And that just really sounds really cute. I actually just picked it up because it was a pre-order. I know the author and the cover was cute, but the back sounds really cute too. And like you kind of know where it's going to go, but I like the concept of it. So really good. Then I picked up a couple books in preparation for Halloween, which I believe is the Halloween, I think maybe it's hosted by Storm, at Storm Reads, but it's basically middle grade Halloween books is my understanding. If I'm totally wrong, comment. But I picked up a couple of those too, so those will be. One is called The Forgotten Girl, and this is by India Hill Brown. And it says, on a cold winter night, Iris and her best friend Daniel sneak into the woods to play in the snow. There, Iris makes a perfect snow angel, and only to uncover the crumbling gravestone of a young girl named Avery Moore. Soon, strange things start to happen to Iris. She begins having vivid nightmares. She thinks she sees the shadow of a girl lurking in the night, and she feels the pull of the abandoned grave, calling her back to the woods. Obsessed with figuring out what's going on, Iris and Daniel start to investigate and discover that the grave is actually part of an abandoned black cemetery. They become determined to restore the grave and have proper respect finally paid to Avery and the others buried there. But they have summoned a jealous and demanding ghost, one who's not satisfied with their plans, one who's tired of being overlooked, and who wants Iris to be her best friend forever, no matter the cost. So that sounded really good to me. And these books, I love middle grade books. Look how easy the pages are. And I've said this before, like, the middle grade genre to me doesn't always get enough play on BookTube because the ideas that middle grade authors have are so vast. It's nothing like what I read as a kid and everything like I read as a kid. So I love it, and I love journeying with those books. Okay, the next book I picked up was Children of Fallen Gods. This is the book that follows Daughter of No World. I got this on Amazon. As I mentioned before in my other videos, it took me a while to read Daughter of No World simply because lots of things, it wasn't a priority for me actually. But I really liked the book, so I wanted to go with book 2. There's not much on the back to read. I don't want to know that much, but I'm sure we'll be following our Tasana and everything else. So excited to read that. Then I started stocking up on my witchy books. I love witch books, like witch romances for Halloween or for October, and I am trying to get as many as I can. I have some on my Kindle, but I'm also getting books as well. This one is Payback's a Witch by Lana Harper. This is a part of a series that I definitely want to read the entire series. It says Amy Harlow is a witch, but not a very powerful one, in part because she hasn't been home to the magical town of Thistle Grove in years. It's a Thistle Grove series. Her self-imposed exile has a lot to do with a complicated family history and a desire to forge her own way in the world, and only the very tiniest bit to do with Gareth Blackmore, heir to the most powerful magical family in town and casual breaker of hearts and destroyer of dreams. So I'm not going to read any more, but I'm excited to read this. Like I said, I love the witchy romance. Those are all the vibes I want in October. Next, I picked up a Fierce Street, which, again, this is at the big Barnes & Noble, where there are books I had never seen before. I didn't know they had redone the Fierce Street, but I loved Fierce Street as a teen and young middle grader myself. Fierce Street, this is Who Killed the Homecoming Queen. If you were a Fierce Street person, these are all the same titles. They've just kind of like stretched out the book. It's still like 150 pages. But look at that font. I love it. So I'm going to save this for October as well. It says, Eva wouldn't say she's psychic, although some people think she is. Eva just gets weird feelings once in a while. A sense that something is wrong, even if she can't say exactly what or why. Like when she and her best friend Tanya were shopping for dresses for the homecoming dance, and Eva felt a sudden rush of fear. But what could go wrong at homecoming? Tanya was just voted queen, and the friends are guaranteed to have a good time. What Ava doesn't know, though, is that someone is jealous of Tanya. Someone has plans to ruin her moment, even if they have to kill her. Spooky. Ready for that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just 7 more, guys. We're good. Okay, next I picked up something I've been wanting to pick up for a while, which is the Atlas 6. There are lots of mixed reviews on this. I've seen people say they love it. I've seen people say it's really boring. I just wanted to read it for myself and see what I thought about it. This is one of those books that's not pressing, but I might come to it in October, or it might be something I'm reading next year. It says each decade, only the 6 most uniquely talented magicians are selected to earn a place in the Alexandrian Society, the foremost secret society in the world. The chosen will secure a life of power and prestige beyond their wildest dreams, but at what cost? Each of the 6 newest recruits has their reasons for accepting the society's elusive invitation, even if it means growing closer than they could have imagined to their most dangerous enemies or risking unforgivable betrayal from their most trusted allies. They will fight tooth and nail for the right to join the ranks of the Alexandrians, even if it means they won't all survive this year. So I think it sounds really good. I don't have much context for it, but I'm still down to read it. This book has illustrations in it too, which I think is unique. So we'll see about that. Okay, next I picked up a book that I wanted to get last year, but I never did. It's called The Summer of Christmas. And for those that don't know, I am obsessed with Christmas. I love it to my core. But this says she's still writing her love story. Ivy Green receives the opportunity of a lifetime when her screenplay, based on her first love, her high school sweetheart who broke up with her 5 years ago, just days before Christmas, is chosen to be made into a movie. She can't wait to get on set, but that's not the only reason for the butterflies in her stomach. Turns out the producer wants to film in her hometown in the middle of summer. The production crew creates a winter wonderland as the locals jump at the chance to join on the movie magic. This just sounds so cute, and it's like a Hallmark movie. Honestly, it sounds like Hallmark, which I love. I love Hallmark movies. Comment down below if you do too. Okay, next up, back to my October grind. I got My Roommate is a Vampire. This is by Jenna Levine. I think this is a super cute cover. It looks like 1950s or 60s comic strips. And I've seen it around but didn't really know what it's about, but I just picked it up. It says, Cassie Greenberg loves being an artist, but it's a tough way to make a living. On the brink of eviction, she's desperate when she finds a too-good-to-be-true apartment in a beautiful Chicago neighborhood. Cassie knows there has to be a catch. Only someone with a secret to hide would rent out a room for that price. Of course, her new roommate, Frederick J. Fitzwilliam, is far from normal. He sleeps all day, is out at night on business, and talks like he walked out of a Regency romance novel. He also leaves Cassie heart-melting notes around the apartment, cares about her art, and asks about her day. And he doesn't look half bad shirtless on the rare occasions they're both home and awake. But when Cassie finds bags of blood in the fridge that definitely weren't there earlier, Frederick has to come clean. Cassie's new roommate is a vampire, and he has a proposition for her. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. Why did I just get giddy? That sounds so good. I cannot wait to start this. This is definitely October read. Okay, last few books here. This book I picked up just out of nostalgia and to have on my shelf. It's called The Westing Game. It's by Ellen Raskin. For those that don't know, I used to be a teacher, and when I taught 5th grade, this is one of the books that I always read with the class as a group read, like a small group read, and it just always blew their minds. I just wanted this on my shelf. I hadn't seen it in a while. I also picked up book 13 for Babysitters Club, Goodbye Stacy, Goodbye. I'm excited to read this. I can't remember the last time I actually read this book. So again, this is the new cover. I just wanted to have it, and excited to read that. I am reading the Babysitters Club in publication order, so it goes 12, and then the first super special, and then 13. So I'm on to the super special. And then the last 2 books that I picked out, guys, this was such a haul, such a haul. The next book I got was The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. And I have heard great things about this. People have said this is basically like you can read it in one sitting. It's so good. It says, sometimes the worst day of your life happens and you have to figure out how to live after it. For Clementine West, that means burying her head in her work as a book publicist, being practical and forgetting the silly things her beloved aunt Anelia taught her, like living wide and chasing the moon. Clementine would rather stay grounded and keep her heart safe. For the last 6 months, she's done just that. But when she moves into her late aunt's apartment and finds a strange man standing in the kitchen, a man with kind eyes, a southern drawl, and a taste for lemon pies, her well-laid plans begin to fall apart, because he's the type of man who, before it all, she would have fallen head over heels for, and she still might. Except he exists in the past, 7 years in the past to be exact, and she, quite literally, lives 7 years in his future. Oh. Her aunt always said the apartment was a pinch in time, a place where moments blended like watercolors. She also said that love is never a matter of time, but a matter of timing. And Clementine fears she may be 7 years too late. Oh, that sounds so good. It kind of reminds me of In 5 Years by Rebecca Searle. Oh, I'm excited to read that. This is not on my list for September, but you never know. So that's really cute. And then the last book that I have from this major book haul is a book by Jessica Clare, Go Hex Yourself. This is going to be another one of my October witchy romance reads. And it says, when Reggie Johnson answers a job ad in the paper, she's astonished to find that she's not really applying for work at her favorite card game, Spellcraft, the Magicking. Instead, she's applying to be an actual familiar for an actual witch, as in real magic. The new job has a few perks, great room and board, excellent pay, and she's apprenticing to a powerful witch. Sure, the witch is a bit eccentric, and sure, there was that issue with the black cat Reggie would prefer to forget about. The biggest problem, however, is Warlock Ben Magnus, her employer's nephew, and the most arrogant, insufferable, maddening man to ever cast a spell. Reggie absolutely hates him. He's handsome, but he's also bossy and irritating and orders her around. Ben's butt might look great in a crystal ball vision, but that's as far as it goes. But when someone with a vendetta targets the household, she finds herself working with Ben to break a deadly curse. Apparently, when they're not fighting like cats and dogs, things get downright bewitching. Oh, that sounds cute too. I can't wait for October. Like, tell me if you like witchy romance books too. But this just sounds so cute, and I think this might be a book in a series, or maybe I'm making that up and just wishing that into existence. But if it is, I will be reading more from her. That just sounds adorable. So, okay, those are all the books that I got for my birthday weekend. Really excited to dive into them. I love having books ready to go. While I am a mood reader, I like to have a consistent, available pile to reach from, and this is definitely that. So, thank you so much for watching. If you stuck around this long, I appreciate you. Comment down below if you've read any of these books or any of these books look good to you. And I look forward to reading your comment and engaging with you. Again, if you like this content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I post on Thursdays and Sundays, and we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.